These next set of video clips are from a church that it's not the one that everyone sees in the movies with the paratrooper that's on the roof. That's actually right across the street from where I'm at now, and I'll film that later. This is another church where two airborne medics from the 101st occupied the church, and they turned it into a treatment facility for German and Americans. I'll explain in it. But the reason why I'm prefacing this series with this video is I was rushed in and out. The caretaker was there. He's very nice. He was supposed to close up at 6. It was already 7. He let me go inside. They do not allow or condone photography or video inside the church, so I just kind of snapped a few shots, and I kind of rushed out of there so he can go, but I'm going to try to get back there today. So what you're going to watch next are some video clips that I did do outside the church, but they're out of sequential order from when I took them. So if my dialogue sounds backwards in some of them, that's why. But I'm going to try to get some more of it today. Okay, thanks for watching. Oh, one more thing. Look in the description box for a link for another YouTube video that greater explains the meaning of this church and what had happened on June 6th. Look in the description box, hit that link. It'll bring you to a more inclusive video that somebody else did. That will give you a better understanding. Okay, I felt a little rushed because he had to leave, and now it's really quiet around here. It's just really nice. But I want to read this board to you guys. You know, I just want to take my time reading it and just kind of absorb the moment. I've been rushing around a little bit today, and this was a very important site for me, being an airborne medic myself. So let me go back to the board, and I'll read it to you in a good pace. So let's see what happens. Okay, this location, by the way, is Angleville Plain. Angleville Plan. I think that's how you pronounce it. So it says here, Drop Zone D was the southernmost DZ drop zone of the 101st Airborne Division on D-Day, a scattered parachute jump into flooded fields and confusing network of hedgerows, lanes, and farm hamlets gave the men of the 1st and 2nd Battalion, the 501st Parachute Infantry Regiment, many problems on June 6th and the following days. Okay, I jumped a little bit down to save time. The fighting continued unabated for 48 hours with many areas changing bands. It says bands, but I'm thinking it means hands, changing hands several times in the fighting. Small groups of outnumbered American paratroopers held their own against the determined and vicious enemy, especially the Fallschirmjäger, which are the paratroopers of Germany, most of whom were combat veterans. For many years, the bitter and important fighting here has been overlooked as visitors have concentrated in the Saint-Mary-Église area, made famous in movies. Johnson's 501st earned fearsome reputation in the fields and hamlets beyond where you stand, and their valiant story is worth investigating. At this spot, as the combat raged, casualties began to arrive in large numbers. The 2nd Battalion medics, Robert E. Wright from Ohio and Kenneth J. Moore from California, worked tirelessly inside the church for 2 nights and days to save lives. Several dozen men were treated, and both men were awarded the Silver Star for their devotion to duty. Not that Angleville escaped death completely. 2 paratroopers died in the church of their wounds, and many more were to lose their lives within yards from where we are standing. Neither was this the only aid station in the area. A few hundred yards, there was another aid station for the 501st with the Catholic priest, Father Sampson, looked over a dozen American casualties, continuing through heavy shelling, and at one point narrowly avoiding being lined up against the wall and shot by the enemy. It goes on to say that the church was gravely damaged during the war, and all the medieval stained glass was destroyed or blown out. There's another part of the story where a mortar shell actually went in, but it didn't detonate, and there's a fractured piece of marbled floor in there that I forgot to look at. I'll probably find it tomorrow. The other thing that kind of failed to mention, I didn't see it, but like I said earlier, those medics were caring for both German and U.S. soldiers. And then this was a monument that the French put in here. And that's a cool little parachute. I'm not sure if that was like a reserve chute or a cargo chute or what, but maybe they may have just made it. I have never seen as many American flags on foreign soil as I have here in the Normandy area. But this is really a cool find for me, but I better get to my hotel, check in, but I'm gonna come back tomorrow and hopefully get some more. He said I couldn't videotape inside, but he kind of like shrugged his shoulders, So maybe I can. I've never seen a lot of videotaping from the inside. I did take some pictures that I'll post, but I really wanted to get a picture of the bloodstained bench, which I did see, and a picture of where the marble fractured from the motor shell. Okay, bye. Okay, so this was one side I definitely had to see. Unfortunately, I was able to go inside and do a quick little look on the inside, but I'm gonna come back tomorrow because this was a must-see for me also. This church has significant meaning for me because it has to do with two airborne medics actually from different units. I think they're even from, I think one was from the 82nd, one was from the 101st. But basically what they did is that they were both missed their drop zones, as many paratroopers did that morning. And one of them came across this church. He parachuted into this church, or in the vicinity of this church. And I forgot the name of the town, but I'll give it to you in a second. But he parachuted in and he made it an aid station. He started patching up American GIs. Well, the fight kept going back and forth through the night, German American, and little by little, some German soldiers started filtering in. He started caring for them also. In between this time, it was June 6th through June 7th, and in between this time, he had American officers telling him to leave, said he was going to stay, and then some German officers came in, asked him what he was doing, and he wouldn't allow them in with guns. It was amazing, and I'm going to put a link in my description box. That's the 101st. It has some really good stained glass of paratroopers on the inside. That I'm going to come back tomorrow and try to grab that video. But it's just an amazing tale of these two American paratroopers that were also medics and ended up for 2 days caring for both the German and U.S. soldiers at their own peril. So if you were to walk in there, you would see German and U.S. casualties, and there was a couple of benches in there that still have blood stains. Now, the caretaker was just here a moment ago. He only speaks French, but we were able to communicate a little bit. He actually closed at 6, but he stayed open a little bit late tonight, but he opens up at 9. I'm staying at the town where the story of the one parachute trooper that you'll see in the movie D-Day, The Longest Day, where he gets stuck on the steeple. I'm actually staying in that vicinity tonight and tomorrow night, and I'll do a video of that one. But right after this clip, it's gonna roll into another clip I just did on the way out when the caretaker was there, and I left a set of my jump wings on one of the markers for one of the medics. I no longer have my jump wings on my hat. So what I did, as you'll see, is that I took it off my hat, and one of the medics, when he died, he wanted to be buried here, but bureaucracy wouldn't allow it. So his ashes somehow found their way here, and it's kind of an indescript marker that you'll see right after this clip ends. It's going right into the next one. It has his initials on it. People dropped a bunch of coins, and I buried my jump wings in there with them. So there's a horse down there. I think it's owners. Oh, there he goes. Oh, there goes more horses. Oh, interesting. Anyways, I'm going to come back tomorrow and take a closer look at this because I'm not staying too far from here. But I'm glad he was still open. He's supposed to close an hour ago. Really nice guy. But meanwhile, I'm going to read some of those markers. Anyways, yeah, this was one of the main things I had to hit, but I'm going to come back tomorrow. All right, hope you guys kind of enjoyed that, and check out what comes next. So this is the church. I'll explain to you guys later, but I left my jump wings. Those are my jump wings. I left my jump wings there. I'm gonna cover them with some of these old coins. I had it in there earlier pretty good. There. So I'm gonna leave my jump wings there. That person is right there. He was the paratrooper, but I'll tell you the story about it in a little bit.